2 weeks ago, the Denver Nuggets seemed like they might be on their last leg, on the brink of going down 3-1 in their opening series against the Los Angeles Clippers. But fast forward to today, the heart of a champion beats on. The three-time MVP Nikola Jokic and company, they have a chance to flip the script and take a 3-1 series lead against a team that rattled off an NBA best 68 regular season wins. But when we all saw SGA's smile as he left the floor in Game 3, and as you can see, he walked in all business today, you never know what could happen. The Thunder, the Nuggets, Game 4. We're counting you down on ABC.
We knew what was at stake tonight. It comes down to your best players making shots.
Rock star like Pink Floyd.
That was the worst player on the court that to be on the game.
We had a big smile. I don't ever want to show them that I'm mad.
You could never do what I do, boy. If you know, you know.
Wow, hurry with some magic.
The moment was amazing.
Series not over.
Too legit, they still looking at me.
I'm optimistic about it.
Telling me he's not the MVP.
That's how you start, that's how you finish.
Hey, welcome to NBA Countdown. Alongside Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, I'm Malika Andrews, and this is one of my very favorite things that we do here at ESPN when we work on Mother's Day. Our awesome graphics producers, they changed our titles to shout out our mamas. So to all the mothers joining us, watching from home, happy Mother's Day, and hopefully we get to celebrate with some pretty awesome games.
That's the anticipation.
That's the anticipation, and that is the plan. This series has certainly been a heavyweight bout, a fight for victory, and today's fight for victory is brought to you by Modelo. Let's just recap how we got here, right? The Nuggets, they took Game 1 of the series. Nikola Jokic became the 4th player in NBA history with a 40-point, 20-rebound, 5-assist game in the playoffs, but it was Aaron Gordon and his three-pointer that gave Denver the win in that one. Then the Thunder bounced back in a huge way. Game 2, they won by 43 points. Scored a franchise playoff record 149 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34. He finished with a ridiculous plus-minus of 51. And then in another close one in Game 3, Denver took that one after Gordon again hit a clutch three-pointer to force overtime. In the extra period, the Nuggets dominated, outscored the Thunder 11-2 to take the series. But here's the thing, Stephen A. The Thunder, they're looking to even things up, and they're currently the heavy favorites to take home Game 4. And even though they're trailing in the round, OKC remains the favorites to win the West and to win a title at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. But do you think they should be?
I think that's a question that's better suited for at the end of this game, because my attitude is I don't know until I see the results of Game 4.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City loses this game, they lose the series. They're not coming back from a 3-1 deficit to the Denver Nuggets. It's not going to happen. And let's take this key stats into consideration, Big Perk. In the 4th quarter of Game 3, there was no lead for either team bigger than 3 points. Yet at crunch time, you're talking about SGA shooting 1 of 7 in this series. 1 of 7 in clutch time. Jalen Williams shooting 2 of 8. With a minimum of 8 field goal attempts. SGA, the game's leading scorer, the presumptive favorite to win the MVP, is a postseason worst 18% in clutch time. You got to figure that out if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder or you going home. It's really, really that simple, and I think that's what needs to be said. That's why I can't answer that question definitively at this moment in time, Malika, and I like to answer questions.
I know you do, and it's fair enough because, Stephen A., I could see this going one of 2 ways. If they play another clutch game, it's certainly the Denver Nuggets that have the edge in experience. OKC only won 1 of those such games during the regular season. But I could also see the Thunder coming out in this game and getting up by 25 points out the gate.
I can see it too, but it's going to have to come down to the play of SGA, right? What's the term? The role players play better well?
At home.
Okay, and your superstars, they game carry on the road.
Right.
They're the ones that's supposed to take you home. And it's different. It's levels of greatness now. Like you have your regular season greatness, and you have guys in the postseason where moments like this in Game 4 are defining moments for a guy like SGA. One could say a legacy moment, because you look back and you look at the table he's trying to go sit at and have dinner with certain people. Anthony Edwards last night, what did he do on the road?
Yeah, 28 points in the second half.
36 for the game.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell Friday night, what did he do on the road? 43.
Back-to-back 40 pieces.
Yeah, so SGA, what are you going to do tonight? All eyes are on you, right? You need to see at this table. Those guys are somewhat proven. not to winning a championship. Well, we're talking about what they done in the postseason.
Especially when you are expected to win the league MVP. He got my vote last year. Obviously, it was won by Jokic. And this year, he's expected to win it, okay? But you see how they've been able to contain, at least to some degree, Nikola Jokic in this series, at least in the last couple of games. That is not the case. That's not the case with that is the case, rather, with SGA. You expected him to do better. That's not happening right now. And then collectively, as a Thunder squad, of your 5 Thunder players with double-digit three-point attempts, only Alex Caruso is shooting better than 30%. Lou Dort's at 27%. Jalen Williams at 26%. Chet Holmgren's at 25%. SGA is at 29%. Yo, you got to do better. This is Denver. We understand the altitude and everything like that. That's an advantage. But I'm also looking at a Russell Westbrook coach sitting in a coach's chair, for crying out loud, doing what he's doing. I mean, this brother is just giving it all he's got. And he's got these cats motivated. We see how demonstrative Jokic has been in this series in imploring these guys to max out. The cool, suave, shaft-like persona that SGA walks around with, that's good for the cameras while you're walking into the arena. I would know something about that because the camera's usually on me when I'm walking into the arena. I would know something about that. But damn it, you're on a basketball court. And this brother has to play like an MVP because I must repeat myself again. They lose this game. Yeah. They lose the series. I cannot see the Oklahoma City Thunder coming back from a 3-1 deficit to win this series.
Only 13 teams ever have come back from being down 3-1, so history certainly would not be on their side. SGA is one half of this MVP equation, but you alluded to it, Stephen A. Saying that Joker hasn't played well is like saying he's the worst of the valedictorians, right? Like he's still Nikola Jokic. He's still the 3-time MVP, but having 13 turnovers over the course of the first 2 games, following it up with the game that he had in Game 3, is it possible that the adjustments that Mark Daigneault made, putting Hartenstein and Jalen Williams, Arkansas Jalen Williams, on him, is bothering him that much? Do you expect a breakout performance from him?
It's going to be hard because the one thing we can say about OKC, their identity never changed, and that's on the defensive side of things, right? And I will say this. It wasn't good that Jokic got it going in overtime, which part of it I blame Coach Daigneault.
Oh, and he got a haircut.
Yeah, he got a haircut.
Whenever you get a fresh lineup, you know that's
ready to do something. And it's Mother's Day, you know what I mean?
I actually don't like the haircut. I thought he was better with the whole look.
But he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing great with that look. So you got to switch it up as a player. But what I'm saying is, think about this. Daigneault had a mistake, right? Daigneault had a mistake, in my opinion, in that game. Jokic was struggling in the fourth quarter. I never seen him, get frustrated for us, him missing shots. I thought the combination of Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren being on the floor together was causing them problems. All of a sudden, you start overtime with Chet on the bench and you go with Alex Caruso. Next thing you know, Jokic, bucket right in the middle. All of a sudden, you don't give a guy like that, the best player in the world, an all-time great center, confidence to see one go in. You want to keep his confidence down.
You also get away with it, though, because they won Game 3 in overtime. Jamal Murray, 47% shooting. Aaron Gordon, 64% shooting. Michael Porter Jr., 70% shooting. Your Cats picked it up for you. SGA clearly doesn't have that to rely upon right now.
Yeah, it's the heart of a champion that you're seeing. These guys won a championship together, relying on that chemistry. And Jamal Murray, a big part of that, averaged just under 24 points in his playoff career, 18 points in his regular season career. So they don't call him playoff Jamal for nothing. NBA Countdown back after this. But they're up 2-1 thanks to their late game performances. Denver scored 28 points in the clutch, while Oklahoma City only has 11 points on 3 of 18 shooting. And I hear that Kendrick Perkins, he spies the reason why.
I'm Kendrick Perkins, better known as Big Perk, and nothing gets past me. Freeze! Just when you thought it did get past me, there I am. I spy a problem. I spy it all. Carry the hell on. Hello, world. No, it's not Morris Chestnut. It's me, Big Perk. Yeah. I want to say I spy a day. Happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. But I spy a problem right now with the Oklahoma City Thunder. When you have a night where Chet Holmgren have 18 and 16, J-Dub go for over 30. SGA, you're the closer. But look at this. Christian Brown had him in handcuffs. Straight isolation all day long. Look at Christian Brown making them uncomfortable, touching them up, crowding his space, making them get into a shot, trying to draw a foul, being uncomfortable. SGA, you're going to win the MVP this season. You have to show up and show out. What you did the other night was unacceptable.
Well, look at this, Perk. SGA missed all 7 of his shots down the stretch on Friday. That is the most shots without a make by any player in the final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter over the last 25 postseasons, and he did not take a shot in overtime. But that's OKC. What about Denver?
Well, Denver showed the championship experience from top to bottom. Here we go again. Now, Coach Dagnall made the substitution of taking Chet Holmgren out of the game and bringing in Alex Caruso. I have no problem with Alex Caruso, but this is the problem that I have. Jokic had been struggling. Guess what? If this is big on big right here, Isaiah Hartenstein then forces him to Chet Holmgren. All of a sudden, Jokic see an easy one go in, and all of a sudden it was nights out from there. Here we go again, championship experience. We know that these two are gonna go to the what? The two-man game. Jamal Murray rejects the screen. Michael Porter Jr. relocates and get a wide-open three-point shot to knock it down in the overtime. So when you talk about inexperience and you talk about a championship experienced team, we just saw the difference between the two. They getting it done as a team, where the Thunder was trying to get it done just going isolation through SGA.
And Denver's two-man game, it's tried and true, right? They outscored the Thunder 14-2 over the final 5.5 minutes of the game here, and it all started with that Aaron Gordon three-pointer to tie it to send it to overtime. So if it's another close game here, Stephen A., we know that the go-to action here for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they love to have SGA in isolation. What adjustments need to be made?
Well, first of all, we're not sure they love him in isolation after the last 2 games, rather the first 3 games of this series. That's number one. And here's what you need to know. He's averaging 28.3 points per game in this series on 49% shooting from the field, with 9 assists, although it's 29% from three-point range. Why do we know that that's an almost meaningless stat? Because they're outscored by 20 when SGA is on the floor. How'd that happen? This is what you talk, when you're talking to MVPs, potential MVPs, this is what you're saying to them. Yo, we know you got the game. We know what you can do. We know what you have done to lead the league in scoring, averaging over 32 a game. Where's that dude in this series against this team? You have to do it, because even though Jalen Williams showed up and was productive offensively for the most part, clearly he's not enough. Chet Holmgren was no scrub in Game 3. He's not enough. Alex Caruso is shooting better than 30% from 3. He's not enough. It comes down to the man, SGA, that dude. They're going to give you the ball. You got to make the right decisions. And if you're making shots, all of a sudden you're going to draw even more attention, which allows you to kick it to somebody open, and they'll get an open shot, which means they'll have a better chance of hitting it. It all comes down to SGA in this particular game. He has to show up. He has to show out, because that's the only way, in my opinion, that Oklahoma City is going to win this game. And again, for the 3rd time, they lose this game. You are not coming back from 3-1 versus Jokic, Murray, Porter, Gordon, and Russell Westbrook, the best player off the bench this postseason.
But weren't you saying, I don't disagree with you, I'm just looking at what Perk just broke down and the number of guys that Denver trusts. We've talked about OKC as the deeper team, but Denver gets all their guys involved down the stretch. When Nikola Jokic isn't able to be the guy to make the shot, oh, hey, here comes Aaron Gordon, who worked on his three-point shooting and is able to close out. So is that something that Mark Dagnall maybe needs to take a look at? When Jalen Williams is cooking, why aren't you giving it to him?
Well, I think you got to find that balance. And with all the teams that I played for, right, we had duos, all right? Paul and KG, they went to a two-man game. Bron and Kyrie, two-man game. Russ and Kevin Durant, two-man game down the stretch. And what I'm saying is two-man game is because when you're trying to find a shot, you're trying to search out a mismatch, right? Christian Brown had been into SGA. How about running Chet Holmgren or Jalen Williams into a ball screen, right? We saw even yesterday, Celtics-Knicks. Yes. We saw Mazzulla make adjustments. We didn't know, so at times they were running double staggers. I mean, double high pick and rolls. They was like, you got to put him in position as well to be successful. Because for one, at the end of the game, we could see this is why it's been one of the best postseasons that we witnessed over the last 5 years. the refs have swallowed their whistle.
Yes, they're letting
they're not being the decision makers.
Right.
But let's remember with Jalen Williams, you're talking about a guy that shoots 42% from the field and 26% from three-point range in this series. So even though he's a threat, and we know he's a bona fide threat because the brother can play in the same breath, let's not act like he's knocking our socks off in terms of establishing himself as that big-time bona fide threat to help SGA out. SGA, unfortunately, has to help him out by putting him in a position to get easier shots because Denver is experienced and they know what to do and they're prioritizing SGA. He's going to have to figure it out.
He was just the hot hand, so why not continue to feed it? All that comes down to this, though. This is a huge game 4. We know that this is indicative of going down 3-1. Only 13 teams ever have come back. So who are you picking?
I'm picking OKC.
Okay.
I'm picking you the number 1 seed for the second year in a row. You got bounced out in the semifinals last year by Luka and Kyrie. It better not happen again. It better not happen again. I'm going to mention Sam Presti, the executive of the year, worthy of that. 17 years, multiple teams championship contenders, not one single championship to show for it. You cannot go down 3-1 to this team and end up going home this damn early. No, this is the game they got to win. I think they win it.
It was something about that sneaky grin or smile that SGA
when he walked off the floor.
When he walked off the floor, that's telling me he's going to come with it today.
Yes.
I'm going with OKC. I believe that defense is going to be on one today. They know what's at stake. I think they're going to jump on their heels, be on their heels like a pair of church socks today. This afternoon, Jamal Murray is going to have problems. Jokic is still going to have problems. I'm rolling with the Oklahoma.
That means you guys are essentially making me say I need to pick Denver because when all of us pick the same way, I think
SGA's dropping 40 today.
Here's what I do know.
I think he's dropping 40.
On Mother's Day, Mark Jones, he's going to have some bars. Mark, take it away.
All right, thanks, everyone.